ranking every single Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from worst to best now that I've seen Mutant Mayhem. Listen, the Turtles were a huge part of my childhood if you couldn't tell, and they've had a lot of really good movies and a lot of really bad ones. So we gotta get to the bottom of who's on top. And it's a ranking video, which means someone's gonna be pissed off. But remember, it's my list I cannot miss. Absolutely in last place, we got TMNT 3 Turtles in Time. And look, it does have its fun moments and nostalgia, but we gotta keep it a buck with ourselves. We all collectively tried to forget this movie. So I'm sorry for bringing it back to your attention. But someone's gotta come in last place. And it's definitely not TMNT from 2014. Because although it's not the best movie, this movie has its moments. In my opinion, there was more negatives than positives. But I know a lot of you grew up with this, so if you enjoyed this movie, more power to you. I just didn't like how the Turtles took a backseat to Megan Fox's April O'Neil, but it did have Megan Fox in it. And like the whole Shredder reveal was kind of weird too. And I'm convinced to this day that Michael Bay definitely directed this movie. It's crazy that they were originally supposed to be aliens. From there, we go to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, which I actually have a lot of fun with. They said, forget that darker tone from the first movie, and let's just go balls to the walls, have hella fun, a bunch of Easter eggs and references for Turtle fans. Baxter Stockman, Krang! They did Shredder dirty again, but I love that the Turtles are front and center this time, and we got Bebop and Rocksteady. You see that? I'm eating a W. And next up, I got Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, the one on Netflix, which was actually a pleasant surprise, because I wasn't the biggest fan of the series, but this movie took a much more serious approach, and was surprisingly really enjoyable. And I'd be lying if I didn't get a little emotional at the end. Next up, we got Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which should be a blueprint for how you do franchise crossovers. They seriously knocked it out of the park with blending both of the worlds between the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman. The banter between the Turtles and the Bat family is peak. Batman versus Shredder? Come on, man. Into our top 5 with number 5, I got TMNT from 2007, which was the first ever animated feature film. And upon a couple of rewatches, it's gone up in my rankings. If you look at this as like TMNT 4, it actually really works. All the Turtles have gone their separate ways. They seem to be like long in the tooth. I will say the villains are particularly weak and some of the storylines kind of drag. But this movie gave us Raph versus Leo finally. And when I tell you that shit was peak, I'm better than you. That's called motherfucking bars! They were in their filmmaking bag for that rooftop fight scene. And in my opinion, it might just be the best TMNT scene of all time. But next up, I got Turtles Forever, which was my Spider-Man No Way Home. I could not believe my eyes when I was younger. The 80s versions of the Turtles meeting up with the 2000s versions of the Turtles and them fighting alongside each other. Shredder teaming up with himself and then betraying himself. Shredder so Shredder in this movie. And like I mentioned, this was just a celebration for Turtle fans. In third place, I got TMNT 2, Secret of the Ooze, which pound for pound, minute for minute, might just be the most entertaining Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie of all time. Like, we just jump straight into the action. We get more Shredder, we get more mutants, and overall, we just get more fun. I'll be honest, nostalgia plays a huge factor for this one. But what other Ninja Turtle movie got Vanilla Ice music? But in second place, we got our newcomer to the list, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, which if you didn't see my review of, I said it brought my joy back. It made me a turtle believer again. The beautiful animation style looking like an oil painting. The soundtrack, the score, the storyline, the teenagers being teenagers. If you grew up loving the Turtles, there's no way this shouldn't be at least top 4 for you. And I don't care if it is recency bias, I love this movie. But in first place, come on, man. You never forget your first. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is still peak, top tier, will never be dethroned. And what can I really say about this movie that hasn't been said before? The costumes, immaculate. The memes, even better. Like, this movie struck a perfect balance of grittiness and comedy that really established the tone that future movies would really piggyback off of. And overall, this movie is just iconic, generational. And at least in my opinion, it still holds up. The only thing that doesn't hold up is the hairstyles. Cowabunga! But that's why it was number 1. But as always, that's just how I would rank it. Let me know how you'd rank them down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more.